All right, hello, hello, hello. This is Ross Fertel, faithful reader on the forums, and I'm here with Neil Matthew, also known as the Sexecutioner. How's it executing today?
It's going extremely well. Just getting myself prepped up for a week of work tomorrow for next week.
Cool. So we're here to discuss your worldly experiences. We're going to start with day one, which is everyone's favorite holiday classic, Star Trek Six on Ice. Um, so what's your experience playing with the classic film era Klingons?
The idea was to get something that I thought would be safe getting into day two. Um, TMP Klingons have generally quite a decent skill mix. They've got a lot of ships, good free plays, good defense. I think defense was a big thing about what to do. Um, However, the space line was not my friend, and I barely got through to day two with that deck.
What spaceline problems did you have?
Well, Kronos is obviously the main reporting place for the deck. You can card play and download to other places, but when it comes to the free plays, you've only got one location. It's fixed at Kronos, and um, yeah, generally, especially in my games against Ryan Sutton and Mike, Kronos was in the middle, and my space missions were woo, like either end of the space line, and it didn't help having ships that only have like range 6 or range 7.
Yeah, well, when you play old ships, you you kind of make do with some antiquated technology every now and then.
Yeah, I should have put in a take us out, but I just didn't have enough room for it.
Yeah. Um. So the deck, well, I you placed pretty high. You made it to the day two. I imagine overall the deck performed how you wanted it to.
Um, Mostly yes. Like I had two buys. Um, my first game against Jared in round three, that went pretty much as I hoped it would. He was playing drones, so the key to winning that was just getting the dilemmas in the right place to stall the Romulan drone ships enough for me to squeeze in that two mission win. The next two games, however, with Ryan Sutton and then Mike, just went tits up. They just went wrong. It just went really badly. Yeah,
Oh,
with a couple of good things in them that I managed to pull off. A couple of cards that people don't really expect. So,
yep. So yeah. Speaking of which, there were some things that I noted with your deck. You've got not one but two mission twos. Just a good way to get your built-in outposts out there and have some diversity in some reporting locations.
mm-hmm. Yeah, the even though Kronos was the main reporting location, Ruda Pente was like my kind of my main drawing area. Like turn one, I'd get prisoner Kirk to hand, and then download what's his name? The guy that runs Ruda Pente.
Yeah,
Let's I think it's like
just
Koth or something. It begins
yes.
with K anyway. Yeah, you'll see him like kicking about there. And then use him, Koth, the mission specialists, get them to Repente, and then you get that extra card draw with Operate Dilithium Gulag, and then I have the two geology to process ore. And also with taking charge as well. Kirk's a captain. That's how I download process ore there.
Oh, cool. Let me see here. And I noticed you've got a couple of HQ cards that are, shall we say, not amongst the most played at all.
Uh-huh.
The
Yeah, I
shipyards
want
in the
to
war room.
I wanted to try a little twist. I wanted to try some different things. Like generally, the anti-battle card is Stratagema, and because I had a battle bridge, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to throw in orbital weapons platform, just in case there's aggro Borg or Kazon or anyone wants to come to the planet. Like one orbital weapons platform should be more than enough to deter against ship battles in the homeworld because not only does it damage, it excludes the ship. So again, if a Kazon fleet came over, I just go for the big Kazon ship, and that should be enough for them to be like, "Ooh, I'm going to run away." And the other one was HQ shipyards. I get that um, on my first turn, play it for free the second turn, and because I've got so many ships, a card play for a ship with a card draw, yeah, another source of drawn for that.
Well, yeah, you've got quite the fleet of Klingon ships that have been in the first six movies. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Speaking of the tactics, I noticed that you used the generic one and not the Klingon one. What
Ah,
made you choose that one?
that was definitely a choice. I wasn't wanting to go out of my way to battle. I was just wanting to solve. So I wanted a really good defensive tactic. Like you'll notice with a primary energy weapon, um, so I'm just bringing it up on my screen here, that it's got, um, it's the, I think it's the only affiliation specific tactic that has two reductions, which are -2. Generally, like Klingon, Romulan Feds, blah, 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 they'll have like attribute -1, attribute -2, attribute -1, or attribute -1, -1, -2. Whereas the Borg one has like a 1-2-2. One of my other defensive cards in there is obviously to be or not to be. So if the opponent tries to come over and start something with me, I can just do an automatic damage of their ships and get their attributes down even more.
And then there's sitting ducks for you to come back and go pew pew pew.
Yes, yeah. I think there was a test when I was testing the deck. I think like I managed to destroy four ships with Chronos One alone. The opponent decided to go for Chronos One, and I used that to be or not to be. And one of the ships was Keldon Advanced with the full attributes 9-10-9. But yeah, it worked out really well in the test games for defense.
Yeah. So you mentioned some of the fleets that were something that could be a detriment to you. Is there any other decks that you thought might be a problem if they came up?
Um, Decks that I thought I would face. Yeah, is that what you
Okay.
mean? Yeah, personnel battle would be a bit difficult. I've got a transport inhibitor in the Q's tent, but I've got 8 Q's tents in the deck, so generally in my opening hand I can get it. But if the opponent's playing Disruptor Overload, then I'm going to be in a bit of trouble with that. So I was kind of hoping for as little personnel battle as possible.
All right. Um, so I had my team of interns come up with a way to cause some havoc with this deck. One of them came up with this sucker, the Cryo Satellite. You've got a lot of personnel that need everyone to be from classic film era. So if I
Yeah.
give you someone that isn't, that might cause a problem. We then realize that you get this after you solve the mission, and then you could just park the personnel somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So so I fired all my unpaid interns. Um, anything else from day one before we move on to day two?
Let's see. You'll notice it's a dilemma which I absolutely love, and I'm glad that I was able to use it to maximum effect. and it's in page 1 of the sheet. It's Altonian Brain Teaser.
Oh,
I
that's
think
an
that is
oldie but a goodie.
oh, it should be kicking about there somewhere.
Actually, I don't think you have it in that deck.
What? Did I post up the deck wrong? Let's see. No, it's not there. Oh my god. I must have I must have messed up posting up the dilemmas wrong, but Ryan Sutton encountered Altonian Brain Teaser at Earth. And are you looking up? I'll look it up just now,
No,
just to
I'll
remind
I'll
everyone.
I'll bring it up.
Oh,
Give me
you'll
a
bring
few
it up.
moments.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, but so yeah, he faced it at Earth.
Yeah, placed it
Mm.
at Earth. I saw on Ryan Sutton's deck that he was it looked like he was doing movie feds. And my first thought was, okay, he's probably going to try and get the whales for bonus points at Earth. So I put the dead end at, I think I put the dead end at the Fed space mission, the one where you normally put uh, Earth space dock. And I put Altonian Brain Teaser at Earth, and lo and behold, he did play the whales, and he didn't get the bonus points for that. It forced him to do a 3-mission win, but he's still like he smashed through Earth in one go. Like there was 4 dilemmas, like misinterpreted history, uh, rules of obedience, that, and a filter. Yeah, he just got through all that in one go. But I was glad I was able to force him to do a 2-mission win there. Um, and also a special shout out to Matthew McLean's deck as well. He was doing a new arrivals Planet of Galactic Peace deck, which just almost screwed me over. He had all the interrupt counters. Like I was trying to lock him out of a planet mission that was under linguistic ledger domain with transport inhibitor. The moment I get the transport inhibitor, he plays disruptor overload, and then I play Paler Toff, and then he plays Amanda Rogers. It was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a very unique deck. And
Okay.
yeah, I just want to give a special shout out. It was a pleasure playing him.
Yeah. He does what he wants to, and you can't do what you want. Gotta love it.
Exactly. He doesn't want the opponent to do what the opponent wants to do. I mean, he even has the devil in his deck.
Yeah. Anything more on day 1 before we move on to day 2?
We can move on to we can move on to day 2 now because there was I had the same opponent in day 1 and day 2, so we can move on to
Yeah.
day 2 and we can talk about the my other opponent
Yeah. So what?
after we talk about the deck.
Yeah. What made you play go into the Dominion Cardassian Dogs of War style direction for day 2?
Oh, it's a deck that I've had since early last year. I've played it a couple of times. I'm very comfortable with it. Like I'm unlike that Klingon deck, my day 1 deck, which I made like within like a month or two. This one I've had for a really good while. It's it's a solver. It can battle. The skill matrix is absolutely astonishing. It can draw. It can play. It's got everything that you need. I was very comfortable taking that into day 2.
Yeah. So speaking of which, speaking of drawing, I noticed you had 9 awaiting trials in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was your best draw? Did you
Uh,
did you ever get into the double digits with these awaiting trials?
oh, I got to I think I got to about near the end game of each game. I was drawing like like eight between 8 or 10 cards per turn, like between the awaiting trials and duck blind and we all serve and my end of turn draw. Yeah, but the trick is getting the captive and being able to protect the captive. I made a choice of adding prepare the prisoner. So how I get the captive obviously is a valuable prisoner. So I have to rely on the opponent to attempt missions, get one of their personnel killed, and get them relocated. Generally to the Baku planet, where I have like an away team. If they're in a different quadrant, I've got a 23rd century mission in there. Which one is a 23rd century mission? A tendril function, and I use Spock's brain to relocate one of the opponent's personnel to the Alpha quadrant. And then I just go over, kill them, capture them, and that will activate awaiting trial and labor camp. Labor camp for the 5 points per turn. Obviously, the downside of a waiting trial is I've got to have 3 Cardassians in play, so I really need to rely on lucking out and getting 3 Cardassians early enough. And obviously, if the opponent is playing rescue prisoners, or sorry, rescue captives, they can just take the captive away. So my 13th seed card had to be prepare the prisoner, just to make sure that I could protect the captive from rescue captives.
Yeah. So did you get any notable captives on day two? Like,
Notable captives. No one special. It was just generally the first person that would die against Mike and his infamous Vulcan end transmission deck. It was just one of the random Vulcans that was on his planet that he was using to fuel his straw engines with processor and duck blind. Against Jared, who was it again? Was it Bashir? No, I don't think it was Bashir. But Kevin Yeager, it was Maville. So there wasn't any big names that I was capturing. It was generally just the first one I could get.
yeah, pretty sure when you're at the world stage, once your opponent captures someone, bye bye. Not going to waste resources going out and rescuing you. Just have fun in the prison cell. Maybe when we're done winning the game, we'll send someone to get you out. But
Yeah,
those are
yeah.
resources
Generally
we
as well,
need
like
to
you'll notice
spend.
there's some big beefy ships in that deck as well. So if they want to come and try and get the personnel back, they've got to get through. They've got to get past a bunch of ships. They've got to get past all the sonar on the planet. Yeah, uh, I made it as tough as I could to ensure that they couldn't get the captive back.
Yeah. So normally I would ask how well this deck played, but since you made it to the final round of day two, I'm presuming that things in general went pretty well.
Yeah. Um, my first opponent, we're calling him Meta Mike because he read the meta and just thought, yeah, I'm going to mess up everyone's speed solvers with like his deck used linguistic ledger domain, all the countdown dilemmas, linguistic, friendly fire, whale probe, enemies of the state, that one that downloads uh, Spock and Sarek, the diplomacy one. And yeah, he was using end transmission to keep those countdowns going. In day one, he just absolutely wrecked me. Again, bad spaceline layout on my side, but I was spending a lot of my resources with, my not so attribute bumped up Klingons. to try and kill all the dissidents and all the diplomats on the homeworld so I could get the mission done. Uh, Day two, however, I had a bit more muscle. Um, Against Mike, when I used Ultimatum to download the remote supply depot into equipment, the equipment that I got was a plasmodine relay and a disruptor rifle. And then he had some Vulcans exposed at Pajam that were processing ore and duct blinds. Yeah, I just went over there, sent a couple of guys down to kill them, and that really just shut down his draw engines for that.
Cool. Let me see here. Let me look at my notes my interns have prepared.
Oh, sorry, could you? I can't hear
Oh,
you.
sorry. I was referring to some of the notes that my intern prepared. Let me see here real quick. I don't think I have anything else. Would there be any changes you would make to either deck going forward?
Uh, just a note to everyone out there, folks: just don't bring like TMP Klingons to uh like to day one like, event expected to get to day two. Like I said, I barely got through that one. Jared's deck. I've got a couple of things. I want to go through each opponent, if that's the case.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
went through
please.
Mike in round one. Round two, it was up against Jared, and he was doing the like KCA solver with muscles. You'll notice in my deck I have Bashir Founder and Supernova in the queue's tent. I was so close to getting Jared with a Supernova. I parked one of my ships at his space mission. Not only because it had Quantum Fisher underneath it as a dilemma to lock out the mission, but I was also wanting to bait him into bringing the ships over to attack me. The Defiant had one ablative armor and two plasmodine relays on it. So I was kind of calculating that he needed four ships to come over and start attacking the Defiant. Um, but I didn't expect him to pull off using the original Regent Wharf, which gives matching commander status to his ships. So he was able to come over with three ships, but I think he only had like weapons like 34. It was like just a couple of weapons short from being able to use Supernova. So unfortunately, I couldn't do it. Bashir Founder also cancels. I believe it's We All Serve. Um, I'm just putting that up just now on my screen so I can read it myself. Yeah,
Yeah, it
Bashir
says
Founder would make We All Serve discard because he's not native to the Alpha Quadrant. But if I manage to supernova like an outpost or a bunch of ships and a bunch of personnel, it's worth one less free play. Um, the matchup against Kevin Yeager, absolutely beautiful deck that he played. Uh, yeah, my one regret was not getting a gun early enough. So, I should have made my strategy focused on commandeering Deep Space Nine and shutting down his like a lot of his play and draw engines, especially his draw engines, by not giving him access to his Deep Space Nine. If I did that, I believe the game would have been more even. I'm not going to say that I would have won the game. I probably wouldn't. He probably still would have outsped me. But um, yeah, I definitely could have played that last game differently to make it a bit more exciting and a bit more evened out. But
yes, especially if you're able to take command of his station, that would be that would be a pretty big hampering with that deck.
Yeah. The things I would have needed is obviously a ship with less than 3 staffing icons to dock at the docking ports. And I would also have needed a VIP. So I would have needed like one of my Vorta or founder leader. I would have had to have gotten one of them out early enough so that I would have been allowed to have dock at Deep Space Nine. Yeah.
Cool. Um, Anything else before we wrap up?
Uh, no, I think I think that's a general cover of everything. I'm just looking, just having a look at. Oh yeah, just one more thing. Yeah, you'll notice in both of my decks, I've got Barzan Wormhole. Like, why would Neil have Barzan Wormhole in his in these decks? Well, let me tell you something. Um, just in case there were Vidians, I had a nasty little surprise that I kept very secret from the community up until then. Unfortunately, I didn't face any Vidians. Sorry, Chris.
Hmm.
I would have made it a bit of a nightmare for you, but you know. So, Barzan work Vidians will generally have 3 missions, 2 or 3 missions in the Delta Quadrant. They'll go into the Alpha Quadrant to try and get that 2 or 3 mission win. If I play Barzan Wormhole for its second function, it relocates the opponent's Barzan Wormhole to the Gamma Quadrant. And that means that it closes the Vidians in the Delta Quadrant. They're not able to move anywhere else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it would have been a very nasty surprise for them, but sadly I didn't get to face Vidians.
yeah, it doesn't say relocate your Barzan wormhole, just says relocate Barzan wormhole. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
One, sorry, one more surprise. I was using the Q's tense as utility generally, just for counters. Um, what was another one I had? It was in my day one deck. Sorry, I had things like the Devil, Examine Singularity, the Devil to nullify treaties, Examine Singularity. Not a lot of people play Black Hole, but I know that Kevin Yeager has been known to play Black Hole in the past. So I had Examine Singularity in my day one deck, just in case. I would face a Black Hole deck, get 15 points, close the Black Hole. Uh, Everyone's happy apart from the person playing Black Hole.
Shut down their strategy and get points while doing it.
I know, yeah. um, Ship Seizure was another really off-ball one that in my day one deck. It came down to just pure luck that this strategy would work. So, what does the card say?
So it plays on your ship with a tractor beam. Discard another empty opposed ship here.
Yeah. So I had an idea. Um, if I had the first turn against a Borg player that was using They Will Be Coming, and I get a Q's tent in my opening hand, I could just move over there and discard uh, the cube. It doesn't say destroy, so it bypasses Federation flagship relaunched. Sorry, Federation flagship recovered. So it would shut down the Borg player on on turn one. But it would depend on if I got the first turn, if I had a Q's tent in my opening hand. But I had it in there just in case. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to sit down and talk with me about your decks. Seems like there was a lot of fun that was there. Anything else before we stop the recording?
No, and just like you said, it was a lot of fun to play these decks. It was a lot of fun to see the caliber of decks that the opponents were playing, and obviously all of my opponents were absolute gems. Lovely to play against them all. I was so happy to be there and experience it.
Yeah, looking at the day one results, you could have taken the second group of eight and still had some good matchups for the final. Like Michael Van Bremen got out.
I'm sorry
Maybe just
if
like Michael Van Bremen got out. Like there was a really strong field
it
playing there.
was like honestly like the months coming up to Worlds and just seeing the big names getting added to the tournament listing. It was I was just looking at this in horror, thinking, "Oh my god, there's going to be some top players not getting into day two." Like it was such a strong field.
Yeah, cool. All right, so thank you very much for taking the time. The decks are going to be found down in the video description of this. Thanks everyone for listening and have a good day.
Okay, thanks so much, Ross,
All
and
right.
thanks.